All right, we are live now, and I'm super excited because we announced this and kind of did a little teaser. We got somebody great coming in here, fiercely independent brokerage, making the merge with LPT. And let me just start off by saying I'm honored. I'm honored because when, from all the times we met, we're in Atlanta meeting and hanging out and doing masterminds together. We've been in the same circles for so long, Scott.
Yes.
To partner up with you is it's humbling that you would reach out and kind of talk to me about the opportunity. And I'm thrilled, man, because this is just the beginning of some really great stuff. So real quickly, let's just kind of talk through who you are for anybody who might not know and what you've done, and then we'll walk through where we're at now and what the plans are for the future. So give us a little bit more about who you are, man.
Sure. So Scott Jacobs, formerly Jacobs and Company Real Estate, right? LLC. Been in the business now for about 2 decades, man. Started just very humble beginnings, right? With pretty much a commercial land broker, right? Father and deceased father-in-law on both sides of my family are builders and developers for 40 plus years in the Northern Virginia surrounding marketplace, right? So very humble beginnings, right? Started in 2008, just my wife and I, and now we have, approximately 25 agents and, a healthy size staff. We've been hitting over $100 million in sales volume pretty consistently the last several years. So certainly, we popped up on many a company's radar, over the last several years, whether that's Keller Williams and Remax and, all those kind of guys. We started hitting certain metrics where all of a sudden we look interesting to them. But, look, I am a fiercely independent broker. Those that are watching this probably and some of the people that I've just kind of entrust have told them that I'm making this move. They're just in total shock still, and just because I've always prided myself on being this independent boutique broker. And you know what? We built something to be very proud of. Certainly, we've been incredibly successful, over $1 billion in sales throughout my career, right? So this is not a small decision. I spent over 100 man hours, trying to, make sure that this was the right fit. And it just is. All of these other models, that might have otherwise been considered a flash in the pan at some point many years ago within cloud-based brokerages, certainly like an EXP, people thought, well, what is this? Is it gonna really disrupt the market? And all these other, and look, I certainly interviewed with people within EXP. Why not? As a good leader, right? That should be our job, to make sure that we're staying ahead of the curve and we understand what's happening in our marketplace. So while I never felt like any of those other organizations were ever a fit, and certainly I could have sold my business, right, several times to many different potential suitors. That wasn't the fit for me. My will to win was never for sale. I'm 44 years old, and I feel like my best 10 to 15 years is in front of me, so this is a huge move, huge decision. But you know what? I've seen this story play out before, certainly as we look at, early adopters in something like an EXP. And I believe that this is the next one, and probably a much better opportunity, because there's agent choice here. There is really something for everybody. And I just love, so this logo behind me, these are our colors, right? This is our brand. And I love it when Robert Palmer, the CEO of LPT, came out and said, hey, look, we're just looking to really become the period at the end of the brand that you've already built. And look, that resonated with me. You're not looking to change me, how we run, I'm just looking to say to my agents, right? And you say you're honored. I'm honored. I'm honored to come in alignment with you, Isaac, because I know the caliber of individual and professional that you are. But also, I am incredibly honored. It was no easy task, but we were able to get 100% buy-in from our agents. And that's just a testament to, hopefully the kind of leader that I am and the kind of trust that they have in me to go on this journey. And I'm excited to go on this journey because I can now look my agents in the eye and tell them unequivocally that we are the best fit, bar none, in the marketplace. Doesn't matter. If you wanted to be that standalone agent that's comfortable living on that island by yourself, there's a place for you at LPT. And oh, by the way, it's the lowest cap that I've seen in the industry, right? $5,000 and then you're 100%. There's a place for you. If you're interested, in being a producing agent and having some element of agent attraction and be able to build, a downline. I don't know about you. Most of these companies, it's like, well, I have a good friend that's getting licensed or somebody who's looking at, another brokerage. Oh, bring them on over. Here's a $50 Starbucks gift card or an attaboy pat on the back. There's a real way to monetize those relationships here. And then, oh, by the way, I have felt as an independent boutique, like we were the best thing in our marketplace. Like we have an incredibly talented staff and, yes, we generate leads and, so our model, if you were to say I'm the rainmaker and I have an operations manager and, certainly bookkeeping, accounting, I have a marketing manager or a full-time dedicated on staff videographer. I have 3 ISAs in the Philippines, 1 graphic designer in the Philippines. And that's us running pretty lean, but with 25 agents doing $100+ million in sales volume annually, and consistently, having a real presence in our marketplace. This was a difficult move, but this is something that we're all excited about right now. So excited to lock arms and go on this next journey with LPT.
Well, that's huge. And, one of the things I was going to actually mention and talk to you about was when we were talking about this transition, you said, you're kind of walking on eggshells with your agents for a couple of weeks leading into it. And then you got 100% adoption from your agent population. What stood out to me, though, is not your ability to sell anybody on LPT or your agents getting excited. It was just how concerned you were for your agents. Yeah. I thought that was huge. And another friend of mine recently talked to me and said, listen, it was really easy for me, Isaac. And this is somebody who was already at LPT even before I joined. It was really easy for me when I sat down and thought, what's the best move for my agents?
Yeah.
And for the people that I know are going to move with me, whether I go to company A or company B, what's the best fit? So talk to me about, like, just be, transparent. What were the concerns that the agents had that you had to help them understand and ultimately, get them into the right camp and what you learned during that process?
So first and foremost, yes, on eggshells, because, this is a big move. And, all of them would have said, hey, Scott, I'm really happy here. I really like what we have. I don't want to lose it. Right. So first and foremost out of the gate was to just reassure that we're not changing, right, what about Jacobs and Company internally as much, right? Our branding, our logo, our staff, everything that you've always liked about our organization. Oh, by the way, we're not changing our CRM and, going through that. And guess what? We're already .loop and LPT offers .loop. But we've always prided ourselves. I'm a marketing guy, and I would always say that we're a marketing company first that sells real estate. So we crush it from digital ads and video on all the social channels, YouTube, right? But seeing the piece, where somebody like a Robert Palmer has I don't know if this is absolutely accurate, but a multi-million-dollar print shop, right? Where we now have access to the very best in printed marketing materials that are branded to our clients, our clients' properties. And we've never seen that in our marketplace. So if we're already saying that we're the best in marketing from a digital standpoint by marrying up, the printed marketing side, I don't know how we ever lose a listing again, right? I don't know how one of my agents goes into a listing presentation and doesn't come out with signed paperwork, because nobody else in our marketplace is able to deliver this, right? So it was reassuring our agents that, look, I'm not going anywhere. This isn't Scott taking a check and thank you for all that you've done and I'm kind of riding off into the sunset.
Yeah.
It's quite the opposite. I'm far from done. And I see this, you say you're in alignment with me and you trust me to always peek around the corners. I peeked around this corner and I see what's on the other side, and I want to chase it ferociously, right? And I don't want to do it alone. I want to do it with you guys locking arms and continue to go on this journey with me. So yes, I mean, there were some interesting things that came out of this. And this is one of the things that I think, whether you're a broker, an independent boutique like me, or even a franchisee, or you're a team leader, we pour into our agents. I know you, Isaac, and I know myself, right? And many other people that we're in circles with. We pour into our people, right? That's our thing, right? We want to do as much of a knowledge transfer as we can to them so that they can scale and grow, right? And I've been really good at that. I've taken people from all different types of careers and have seen them do 10, 20 plus $1 million in production. I mean, really change their whole family's wealth dynamic, right? But here's the thing, and our job as a good leader is to grow them to the extent that they would grow beyond us as leaders, right?
Yeah.
But as an independent boutique, there's not too many options. It's, hey, Scott, I really like to start my own team. And it's like, how do you figure that piece out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Gary Keller said one thing. He says, if you want to retain what you have and build something bigger, you have to construct a larger tent.
Yep.
This is the larger tent, because guess what? If you're with me on this journey, as long as I'm in alignment with you, you're in my world. I'm incentivized always to make sure that you're growing and scaling. And I think that's the beauty of this, so
yeah.
I would say there was, so that was certainly an element, but, look, as an independent boutique broker that's been in business now for almost 2 decades, I had to approach my team like this too and say, hey guys, there's a storm on the horizon, right? So we've all been witnessing these frivolous NAR lawsuits, right? And RE/MAX strokes a check for $40 million to make one problem go away in probably one state, right? Seller side only, right? The buyer side is much larger from what I understand. And guess what? These things are rolling out. So I'm not here to sit in front of the camera and say that this move is only made because it gives me maybe some shielded protection of transactions in the future from a compliance standpoint. But look, we're a pretty healthy size in our marketplace. And certainly there are people much larger than I, but I think it would be disingenuous for us to bury our head in the sand and think that, oh, this is just gonna go by, right? That's not the way I choose to operate, right? I like to be ahead of the game. I like to see those things. And the fact that LPT was really just created after the first lawsuits were filed, so I know that they put stopgap provisions in place so that they wouldn't be in the crosshairs of these frivolous lawsuits moving forward, right? That was hugely important to me. But then again, to be able to tell my agents, look, I'd be lying to you if I said that I didn't have the occasional sleepless night thinking that there could be a $30-40 million lawsuit that lands on my desk. And guess what happens then? You're very limited options. It's called bankruptcy, right? And all that I have worked to build with these bare hands over 20 years could all go away just like that for doing nothing other than what we were told to do by the National Association of Realtors because it was the ethical thing, right? So, look, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? And yes, as an independent boutique, I prided myself on, being exactly that. But guess what? I know with many, we can go a lot further. And I see this, I know that there's a lot of other companies that are starting to pop up. We can share those names. I prefer not to. I know in my gut, and my gut never lies to me, right? I've done a lot of homework on this, and I believe in the ownership of this company. When I started seeing people like you, Isaac, people that I respect deeply, right, made this move. Others that I knew that were walking away from a significant amount of passive income on a monthly basis to bring their entire organizations over to LPT. I mean, look, you've got no choice but to pay attention. If really your agents, your agents are that important to you as a leader, you have no choice but to peel back the layers of the onion and really see what this is. And the more I peeled back the layers, the more interested I got. And then interest got to excitement, and here we are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm thrilled because what we're building at LPT, and one of the beautiful parts is, we're real estate CEOs. That's what we represent. That's our group or whatever. But the reality is, like, it's LPT.
Right.
There's no like, hey, let me trade you this for that, and then you're in this private. Hey, we're all open. One of the things I really love, though, is that you're a marketing first person. LPT is a marketing first company. And so as we start leveraging all the resources, and last I heard, that was an $18 million print shop, right? That's pretty awesome. But I say all that to say this. Let's talk about real estate business and how this is going to impact our real estate group, right? Our real estate teams, our real estate agents inside of the group. What are you most excited about for the next 90 to 180 days that you think LPT is going to provide for you and your agents specifically?
I think right away, the listing power tools that are going to be provided to every agent for every listing that they have means that we're going to win a lot more listings. And oh, by the way, when you just do nothing other than empty those boxes, I know that you're planting seeds all over the place that eventually you're going to be able to harvest. So just by doing those activities that we should be doing anyhow with tools that we don't have access to is going to generate a lot of new business for our agents. So extremely excited about that. Myself and many others, that chose to, to try to go, towards the rev share builder. I think they're genuinely excited because there's nothing like this in our marketplace. There's agent choice here, right? Cloud-based brokerage models, but not where there's agent choice. And by the way, you can go back and forth between the different programs that you want to be a part of. And if you want to be a part of a team, if you want to start a team, there's something for you. So from a recruitment standpoint, as an independent boutique broker, not to say your options are limited, right? But like like everybody's in my audience now. Everybody's in my audience because I have such conviction about this that there's nobody out there in my marketplace that can tell me that they've got something better going on, right? So I think the agent attraction piece is huge. I just, I've always liked pouring into the community that I'm with. And, so for me, I'm a developer, I'm an investor, I've been at the highest levels on all the boards and look, for this group and all the others, right, that I'm invited into that there might be a platform. I just love the opportunity. Like, they say, if you want to keep what you've got to learn to give it all away.
Give it away.
Right. And I never fully understood that, but I get it today. I get it today more than ever. And I just, like I said, when you get to the top, throw the rope down, all that kind of stuff. I love that, and that's what this community is. Within some of these other organizations, it might have been attractive to an Instagram influencer. Nothing wrong with that, right? But like this company actually rewards the producing agent, right? And that to me is a game changer, right? So I think like moving forward, I could see where this company's already become the fastest growing real estate brokerage in US history. And, I think that we're looking at around the end of Q1 that we could be very well at 10,000 agents. And when you look at what's possible in the marketplace, all as an early adopter with a pre-IPO, with the caliber of people that are in the leadership and with the caliber of the teams and brokers that are moving over here, this is a winner. This is a winner. And I like to win, right? This is a huge decision to me. This is my baby. I built this, right? I built this from nothing, right? This lot of blood, sweat, and tears, sleepless nights. I don't take this decision lightly. But when you trust that gut, right? When you trust that gut and you've seen enough things and you've been in this industry long enough as I have, you want to attach yourself to what I believe is the next rocket ship ride, right, in the real estate industry.
Yeah, and I think one of the interesting things before we wrap up here is just the reality of how much synergy there is between the value propositions. So, and what I mean by that is, and when we were talking last week with your team, and they were asking a lot of questions, it kind of came really into focus even more, which is, okay, let's say I don't care about revenue share. I just want to show up, limit my fees, right, and reinvest back into my business. And there's a couple things I would coach you on, right? And Scott would coach you on. And it's, okay, great. Go be listing based, right? Because list to last, we've known that forever. All these lawsuits are going to make it even more important that you're listing focused.
True.
Okay, great. So I don't know that your CRM has to be the best CRM in the world, even though we have a great one. I don't know that your transaction management software has to be the best in the world, even though we have a great one. The thing I do know is you do have to have amazing marketing tools.
Yes.
And you have to have amazing marketing listing tools, right?
Right.
So there's that. Now, what's crazy is, let's say you go all in on that. What's going to happen is you're going to increase your production. You're going to make more money. You're going to keep more of the money that you make because you're on this business builder plan. Fantastic. But what else is going to happen? Other agents in your marketplace are going to start going, hey, how do you do what you're doing?
Right.
And then you start attracting, and then as a natural byproduct of being great at what you do, revenue share ends up stacking up underneath you. And that's what's really interesting about this play for any agent is you don't care about revenue share and all that stuff. Awesome. Don't.
Right.
Probably going to naturally come anyways as a result of being awesome. So if I'm somebody and I go, listen, I want all the things real estate has to offer.
Right.
Your best play is go somewhere where you're going to retain as much money as possible so you can reinvest back in your business that's going to provide you with amazing marketing tools. You do those things, everything else kind of follows.
That's right. Absolutely.
I've heard so many questions about that with your team.
Right.
I was like, they get it.
Yeah.
And after that call, I wasn't surprised you got 100% capture rate on that, dude. Because they were smart. They're asking articulate questions, and they got it. They put it together right there on that call. And we were answering all their questions. So just huge point.
Yeah, I think super excited. I mean, if you like all the things that we already did and we already provided, and none of that goes away, but oh, by the way, we're adding this, and this. So I don't know about you, but I believe the modern day real estate agent is going to want an opportunity to own a part of the company that they work tirelessly for, right? So what does that look like? Right now is an early adopter status, right? You get like 100 or 100 plus shares of stock on your first sale. Another 100 plus, depending upon which plan you're on your third sale, your 15th sale, you're 1,000, or you're more than $1,000. And this is all as an early adopter. I don't know about you, Isaac, but those people that I knew that were on the ground level as early adopters in these other organizations, they seem to be like wearing permanent smiles on their faces, right? Yeah. And, this is one of those opportunities. I experienced some degree of FOMO there, right? Now, what I believe happened here is Robert Palmer took the best of these other organizations and melded it into something that just, like I said, for somebody like me that just couldn't see it within any of these other models, here, it's clear. It's clear. I get it. It's agent choice. There's something for everybody, the best marketing materials, and we're just getting started. Some of my agents said, but Scott, I've never even seen LPT anywhere in the Northern Virginia surrounding marketplace. And I said, exactly. And that's why this is such an incredible opportunity, because I can see, right, what's going on behind the scenes to a certain extent. And I know that 5 years from now, when you see LPT all over our marketplace, that we had a lot to do with that, right? And I want to make massive impact, because if I have this degree of conviction about this, then it's my mission to share it with those that I know, like, and trust, and I've worked with in this industry for over 2 decades, right? And some will and some won't. Some just fear change. Some of my agents fear change, right? But, you know, if we're not changing, right? If and this is what I told my team, right? I said, you know, I get so excited about this because anytime that there's any kind of reluctance, hesitation, or you get this sense of nervousness in these butterflies, I know I'm about ready to level up, right?
Yeah.
I know all the growth comes from doing the uncomfortable things, right?
Yeah.
This has been one of the most uncomfortable things I've done in a very, very long time. And I know it's getting me excited because I know what's around the corner, right?
Yeah. I love it, brother. Well, this is first of many amazing
Yes.
conversations as we continue to build together. If you're at all interested, somebody watching this, and you want to know more about what Scott does really well for marketing for his business, how he's building his team and all these other things, make sure you reach out to him. If you want to know more about LPT, make sure you reach out to him, because this is what we're here for. We're here to answer questions and just be a resource for everybody in the community in real estate. Not even LPT, right? This is our big thing. That's how you and I connected. We weren't part of the same brand, but we're always helping one another.
Absolutely.
So again, just thrilled, excited. I know that we're going to be spending a lot of time together on the masterminds and everything like that. I saw, we were there together on the mastermind yesterday. So just super excited, brother. I appreciate you. And
I appreciate you. And to everybody that's a part of this group, like, you can always feel free to reach out to me. Like, I think each one of us is going to bring and inject something different, which is going to just make it like just that much more incredible. Right. But, I'm here to help. I'm here to help. And I'm here to help everybody achieve that next step. Right. And I really love what's already been built. And I look to just make my imprint upon it.
Excellent. Well, actually, before we run, what's the easiest way to reach you, Scott?
Sure. Yeah. Look, call, text me, right? 703 area code 346-5855. Look, find me on Facebook, right? Just go ahead and shoot me an email, scott@jacobsandco.com, right? Just call, text me, shoot me a Facebook message. Any of that's great. I so look forward to seeing so many of you on future calls or at events, and just building that relationship, right?
Well, thanks so much, man. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.